So here's one I get a lot, and it is, Casey, I can't afford a house. Well, I would have a question for you. Can you afford something that's free? If you said yes, if you said no, did anybody say no out there? If you said yes, I got about 11 ways that you can do that, 11 ways that you can get into a house for free, and I'm going to go through them as quickly as possible. FHA loans. So last I checked, it was 3.5% on an FHA loan. You only have to put 3.5% down. You do have to buy what is called PMI, or private mortgage insurance, which will make the mortgage more expensive until you can refinance into a conventional loan. It could be about 10%. It depends on your local lender, so make sure you check on that. FHA 203K loan. So a 203K loan is a loan that you get on renovations. So you can get into a busted up property with an FHA 203K loan. VA loans. A VA loan is one that you have to be in the military. You got to check on it based on your service status. So if you're in the Guard, Reserve, or active duty, it's going to be a little bit different for each of those services. So you got to check on that with your local lender. USDA loans. USDA loan is basically a loan that you can get in a rural area. A rural area, it's pretty broad. It basically means it's based on zoning, and it's basically, if you're not in a city, you probably can get a USDA loan, and that's going to be a zero down loan. Owner occupied property. So this is one that I am actually doing. It's AKA house hacking. So it's living in part of the property, whether that be a single family home and you live in one room and rent out the other rooms, or whether that be a multifamily home where you live in one unit and you rent out the other units. Investing with partners. So that's exactly what it sounds like. You, a friend, you invest in a property with a partner. You might not even need to put any money down, because maybe they put all the money down and you go and you do all the work. You go figure out everything, all the numbers, you do the actual labor that is required, and you can invest with a partner because they've got the money and you've got the know-how. Home equity lines of credit. So that's basically, if you have equity in your current house, that's taking some of that equity, lending it to yourself, and then going and buying another property. Not as many people are going to have that, but if you do have that, that's another way to get into another property with technically no money down. All right, we're almost there. Hard money loans. Hard money loans are basically a shorter term loan. Typically, they're gonna have a higher interest rate and they're a little bit more risky. So look into that, see if you can find a hard money lender. Private money. So private money is exactly what it sounds like. You need to go find a rich person. Maybe you go to a couple networking events, go to a car meet, go to somewhere that rich people go to a golf course, country club, find someone who's rich, who has some money to invest, and you get them to invest in you. Lease option is basically what you're going to do is you're going to rent from a place, get a lease option. The lease option basically entitles you to buy the house if you want to. You're not entitled, you don't have to buy the house, but you have the option to buy the house. And it can basically make it so that the person cannot sell to other people while you are in the lease option. Seller financing. So basically, instead of getting a loan from a bank, you're going to get a loan from the property owner that owns the property already. So typically this works out when the person already owns the entirety of the house. And the last one is wholesaling, or buying from wholesalers. There is a whole topic of that on YouTube, so I'm not going to get too deep into that. Basically, they go and look for distressed properties. They go look for really good deals that are off-market deals, and you can get a property from them for cheap, or you can go do it yourself. You can go look for properties just go driving for dollars, as they call it. But anyways, that is that. There's a lot of ways to get into a house for free or for cheap, and to live there for free or for cheap. And for the last thing, let's talk about owning the businesses that you consume at. So a lot of us, we don't have that culture of owning the businesses that we consume at. We are economic children. What do I mean by economic children? What I mean by economic children is that when you give a kid $1, say, what are they going to do with that $1? They're going to go into the store, they're going to try to buy some candy, they're going to try to see, what can I buy with this $1, rather than what can this $1 earn me? I got a little example for you guys on the board here. Check it out, $110,000. What we could do with that is either buy a nice BMW, or we could invest that $110,000. If we end up buying that car at 4% interest, and we take that out for 8 years, we end up with $126,000 gone. But we did have a nice experience, whatever. If we were to invest that into the BMW stock and we get just the dividends alone, we will end up with $67,200. $67,200 plus the opportunity cost of $126,000. The real cost of that decision is $177,200. So what we got to look at when we think about the cost of something, the cost of our actions, is the cost of something is that which is foregone. So the cost is not just what you pay, the cost is what you don't do with that money. So anyways, hopefully you guys like this video. I enjoyed taking over the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.